Welcome back as we continue to explore the system preferences on your MacBook. We're going to pick up with Spotlight. Remember, this is your Spotlight search, which can be reached by going to the magnifying glass in the upper right or by the keyboard shortcut Command Spacebar. It will both do the same thing. Any one of the checked boxes is going to allow you to search through that section when you do Spotlight search. If I want to uncheck one, let's say I want to uncheck spreadsheets, that means the next time I do a Spotlight search, that will not be included in the search. If I want to remove the calculator because I'm not going to be searching the calculator, if I want to remove definition, documents, anything I can do, I can actually work with it right there. Notice I can allow Spotlight suggestions in Spotlight and Lookup. In the lower left are keyboard shortcuts, which are actually under the keyboard preferences, but they do show up here in case you want to shortcut something and go to that directly. Privacy, notice it says prevent Spotlight from searching these locations. So you can actually add a folder or a disk or a location to this list and it will never search. So let's say that I'm in the classroom and I'm showing the students something. I have my MacBook presenting on the screen. If I do a quick Spotlight search and I do not want it to search through my email because I don't want my students to see any of those pop up, I could add that to the list by clicking the plus. To my desktop, it'll let me choose documents and folders, so that way they're not being pulled up whenever I do a search. The next is notifications. Remember, your notifications are going to show up here in the upper right, or if you swipe across with two fingers from the right to the left, this will show up. You can set the notifications on here just like you can on your iPad. So the calendar, you can change those. You can go to your Outlook app and change how those will sound when they come in. If you're using Safari, if you're using Twitter, anything that you want to change, you can change the notification settings right there in Notifications. Displays, it's going to tell you the basic display or the best display that you can have based on what you are looking at. It's also going to tell you your color options in case you would need to change those. There are some programs that exist that do work better with a change in the color schematics based on the resolution that your computer may or may not be able to run. Different MacBooks may have a different screen resolution available, and some programs aren't built to that higher capacity, and some of them are built actually to a higher capacity and they can't go lower. So you may see a change there. The other thing is whenever you connect a projector through a Thunderbolt to VGA port on the outside of your Mac so that you can connect to the projector with a wire, you also see several of the options show up under your built-in display that you may have to go in and change in order to do that. Notice it has show mirroring options in the menu bar when available. The mirroring option is right up here. That's your AirPlay for your Mac, and this will tell you where you can send those different signals, the video and the audio signal. Notice my AirPlay display is off. I can also choose it here, or I can choose it up here depending on how I have it set up. We're going to skip CDs and DVDs because the Mac Air does not have an optical drive. If you would connect an external optical drive, an external CD drive, you would have options for that. So the Energy Saver may look different on yours than it does on mine. I know that they run a little differently with the Mac Air than it does on the MacBook that I have, but you'll see the general same idea that you can change when the computer sleeps, how long the screen stays on, when you want the display to go to sleep, and so it also tells you your current battery charge, estimated time until full. I can show my battery status in a menu bar. I also have a schedule over here where I can schedule it to start up or wake every single day. I can change it to every week, whatever I want to do there. I can also restore the defaults, which will put it back to its general power adapter and battery settings that come generic on the MacBook itself. Finally, we're going to look at our keyboard settings, and we're going to start with the keyboard itself. So the keyboard, I can change my key repeat, delay, until repeat. I can use F1 as standard function, adjust keyboard brightness and low light, turn off when computer's not used for. So I have several different things. I can set up a Bluetooth keyboard. I have modifier keys, so you'll notice that these are the different things and what they look like. So if you ever see anything and it says option key, that's what it's going to look like. So if you push the option key, it'll be an option. For whatever reason, if I wanted to take no action, I can change that in the settings there for the modifier keys. The text, I can actually create a shortcut text to my MacBook. So I'm going to add one to show you how this works. So replace, and I'm going to put TK with, and I'm actually going to type my email address. There are going to be a lot of times where you are using your MacBook or your iPad and you have to type in your email address. If I type in TK under the text, which will give it a shortcut, when I type the letters TK and push the spacebar, it will automatically type my email address. I can have it choose correct spelling automatically, use smart quotes and dashes. I can go to my shortcuts, and this will show me what my shortcuts are for each one of these different things. I can change them, I can turn them off, and I can turn them on. Notice we have different ones here. We have your screenshot ability. So one thing under the screenshot, if I want to take a screenshot on my Mac and I want to do the entire screen, notice it says save picture of screen as a file, I would do Command, which is my little flower looking one, Shift, which is this, and 3. So if I did Command Shift 3, it is going to take a picture of the entire screen. If I do Command Shift 4, Command Shift 4 will allow me, notice, to choose a portion of the screen that I want to take a photo of, and it just captured that portion of the screen. So it's a very quick and efficient way to get a screenshot on your MacBook. I can continue down through with the services, things I can do there, Spotlight search, and finally input sources. My input sources know right here I have the US standard keyboard. If I go to the plus, I can add a different keyboard to my keyboard options. So let's say that I am a world language teacher and I'm going to choose Spanish. Well, I can choose the Spanish keyboard to be one of my options if I choose add. So now, if I go to the Spanish keyboard, notice this is what it would look like. I'm going to take it back to the US keyboard. So let's say that I added Spanish, but I really don't need it. I can simply delete it, and there I have just the standard US keyboard. Thank you for joining us for part 2 of the system preferences. Please also view parts 3 and 4 to get a full idea of what's available in your system preferences on your MacBook.